Howdy, my name is Ariana Johnston, and this is my first ever makeup video. This isn't the first time that I've tried to post on YouTube, but I tried in middle school and wasn't very successful. I thought I'd give another shot. I've been very inspired lately, very creative, and wanted to share that with others, especially friends and family who have requested me to make videos of the looks that I do. I'm in no way, shape, or form a beauty guru or makeup artist, but I do dabble with makeup. I enjoy makeup, and I want to show you the creativity that I do. I've already done my base because I'm not very good at that, so I don't really want to try to show you how I do it, because I know absolutely that many of you who actually are super good at makeup or makeup artists would be like, what is this girl doing? Because I'm absolutely terrible at it. But it will show you some of the things that I use, because I used a lot of drugstore makeup along with some higher end, not necessarily too higher end makeup, and I know that there are a lot of people who are starting out in makeup and they don't want to spend a bunch of money, so I'll show you some of the things that I use that I enjoy, even though that I'm not the best at it. I recently purchased this NYX Total Control. It's a drop foundation. So I've only worn it a couple times, but so far I quite enjoy it. Like I said, I'm not someone who really wears foundation. I don't like my skin to feel cakey. That's something that kind of really bothers me. So I've been trying to find a foundation that is kind of lightweight and covers up blemishes and redness and problems that most people seem to have. Secondly, I've been wearing this concealer that is by Makeup Revolution. I'm in the shade C2, if anyone's curious. This is a wonderful dupe for Tape Shape, which I regularly wear, but I was going through Tape Shape so quickly, and for someone who doesn't really have the money to continuously buy high-end expensive concealer one after the other, like, I really needed a dupe. And I watched a video of Jeffree Star talking about Makeup Revolution's concealers, and he really liked them, so I gave it a shot, and it's really good. NYX matte bronzer. This is in the shade medium. It's just this beautiful matte brown shade. It's perfect for light skin. Like, it gives you a nice bronzy look without being too dark or too muddy. I'm wearing a Maybelline Fit Me blush. This is in the shade Coral. This is just a nice light pink shade, because I'm not too extreme when it comes to face makeup. I just like very natural looking, and this is very pretty with my yellow undertone skin tone. I also use Anastasia Dip Brow. This is in the shade Taupe for my brows. And you're pretty much caught up with what I already have on my face. When it comes to eyeshadow, today I will be using the original Jaclyn Hill palette. I know it's been out for a hot minute and everyone and their brother has raved about this palette, but I am still absolutely obsessed with it. So that is what I'm going to be using today, and I do apologize for how brutally disgusting this palette is. She's definitely got her fair share of use. Starting off, I'm taking a fluffy brush. This is just a cheap one by Real Techniques, and I'm dipping into the shade Silk Cream. Just coating the brush nicely, giving her a little tap, and with this shade I completely coat the lid and the crease, just kind of circular motions around the eye. This is just going to be my base shade to help blend all the other shadows that I'm going to use nicely, just to give it a nice seamless look.
This is something I recently started doing, is giving a base shade down, because I realized that with it, everything blends about 110 times nicer and smoother than the palette.
Next, I'm going to dip in with a small blending packer brush, I guess you call it. I'm not sure about brushes' names, but this small little dense brush. I'm dipping in to the shades Jax and Roxanne, just kind of like a back and forth motion to get the dark and the light. Tap it off. Now with this, I'm just going to place it circular motions inside the crease, just to deepen that up and darken around the eye.
Now, what I do, not saying that this is right or correct, but I lay the color down first. I put as much as I want, as dark as I want, how I like it. I lay that color down, and then I'm going to go back in and blend it out. This, to me, works the best. So then I see exactly what I'm doing, where I'm placing the shadows, and how intense I want the color. Because Jacqueline's palette, along with most Morphe palettes, their shadows are blendable and buildable, so you can add more or lightly apply a shade and get a completely different look with it, just depending on how you like it. And that is why I love Morphe. It's absolutely one of my favorite brands. A little bit of product left on this brush, and as you can see, I have a very harsh outline on my eyes in this shade. So I'm going to take this and half on the color I just placed and half off. We're going to do tiny, 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 tiny circular motions. And by doing this, you are going to be blending the base color that we originally placed with the darker shade that I just put in my crease. You can see already that it just started to blend out and not look so harsh and terrible. And blending is one of the most difficult parts of eyeshadow. When I talk to people about makeup.
Okay, so now that I have everything nice and blended out, at least to my liking, I'm going to take a little packer brush, I guess you call that, and I'm going to wet it. I use this to wet my products, and I also spray it on my face because I think it smells nice and it makes my skin feel glorious. And you're probably not supposed to use it to wet brushes. I know there's like specific things to wet it, but I don't know. For me, I like it. It smells really pretty. Alright, the color I am going to be using on my lid is the color Sissy, which is that fun one up there. So with my brush nice and wet, I just dip right in, be sure to tap off any excess. Now, colors like this, even if you wet them, chances are there's going to be fallout. That's something that you really can't avoid. Metallic, sparkly shadows have fallout, and that's just the tea. With this, I'm just going to place it directly onto my lid. Alright, so now I've applied Sissy all over my lid, and I bring it down into my inner corner, into my tear duct slightly, and right below the lash line in my inner corner, I bring it down, and personally I think that makes the look just kind of blend together and just open everything up. And with the brush that we used previously, sorry that light is terrible, the brush we used previously to add the dark shadows into our inner corner, we are going to take that again and blend slightly, once again, just a little bit on the brush, not much whatsoever because you don't want to ruin the shimmer. But I'm just going to put this in tiny circular motions right back in that crease, and it'll A, deepen it back up from your blending, and B, take away that harsh line from the shimmer shade. So now we're going to take the shade Jada, this nice turquoise color here at the bottom, with a small little blending brush. We're going to dip in ever so slightly because this color, like if you see already, like y'all know how pigmented her palette is. Like this palette is literally incredible. So it doesn't take much. And tap off any excess. We're going to take this little brush and we're going to put this underneath the eye, kind of along your lash line, and blend it out nicely. Yeah, I added this turquoise color underneath my eye, and I'm going to take that packer brush that I used originally with the shade Sissy, and I'm not going to add any more product. I'm just going to lightly dab right over my tear duct and inner corner one more time because, like I mentioned earlier, I wear glasses, I'm blind, I can't see, so I usually manage to make a mess on my face. The tip to beautiful, stunning makeup is to blend, 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 blend. Take whatever brush you use, trash or not trash, and circle the fuck out of your eye. And I'm telling you, it'll come around. It'll absolutely come around. Fun. Okay, so we are done with the Jaclyn Hill palette. And now I'm going to use my absolute favorite YouTuber and makeup person and influencer and every other name that you can call him, Jeffree Star, my absolute queen. I'm dipping into the shade Ice Cold, which is kind of a mess, and I love that you can see the Pepsi in the background. That's so fun. But hold on. So as you can see, how do beauty YouTubers do that? Ooh, sis, there we go. Okay, so as you can see, she's a mess. I've used her quite a lot, Ice Cold. This is probably one of my favorite highlight. It's stunning, but I use it in my inner corner a lot, so you can see I got blue in there. So with a little fluffy brush, I guess you call it, I'm gonna dip into Ice Cold, And then I'm going to take this color and highlight my brow bone. This really just accentuates your brows and kind of pulls your makeup look together, in my opinion. I think just a little bit of shimmer right there. Just look, I have terrible lighting, and you can already tell that my brow bone is glistening. Okay, hold on. Here, let's do the other side. And ignore my blemish on my brow. I don't know how I managed that, or what is going on with my skin right now. My body is clearly hating me. It knew I wanted to film and was like, hello, nice to meet you. But regardless of that blemish, I'm glistening. Oh, shit, bitch. Motions right above your color that you already have placed, because you don't want to completely diminish your shadow with highlight, because trust me, I do it almost every time. I like to get carried away and highlight everything, like basically my hairline to my chin. So I sometimes have to go back in and add more color, but right now I think we're doing okay. But I'm gonna dip in, plus a generous amount, because I love highlight. And as you see, I was only lightly tapping, and the brush, she's coated. She's absolutely coated. It's on my pants, but it's fine. I love highlight. So I'm just going to place this color on the highest part of your cheekbone, and I take it up towards my brow. Highlight is absolutely my favorite place to highlight. So I didn't even dip in again like that on my nose, and she's stunning. Okay. So I'm gonna dip in a tiny bit more because my brush is pretty much coated. And I'm gonna apply it on this side, as you see, and just use soft motions, bring it up beside my brow. And as you can tell up close, sis does not have great skin. So honestly, highlight can bring out blemishes if you put it in the wrong place or if you use a great highlighter. That's why I absolutely recommend Jeffree Star Cosmetics when it comes to highlight, or honestly shadows, lipsticks. Honestly, anything his brand is incredible, but especially because personally for me, they're the only highlighters that I can use that don't bring out my blemishes and make my skin look sweaty or gross. It gives me a beautiful glow without looking a mess. And a little above the brow, because I like to get carried away. Just a little glistening. Beautiful. Okay, now I'm gonna take little circles just to make sure it's blended nicely into my blush and bronzer. I feel eyeliner just takes away from the shadow and the eye look itself. So here lately I haven't been wearing any, but today I'm really feeling it. I'm using the brand Stila Intense Black, and I'm just going to do a very simple cat eye. I'm gonna start off right now and say not too crazy, but by the time I'm done, my wing is probably gonna be past my brow, and I'm gonna be like, oh, oops. Because for some reason, much like highlight, I get carried away when it comes to makeup, so bear with me. As you can see, I've lined my lash line, which is a small, try not to get it too thick, but if you do, I completely understand, because mine 98% of the time is far too thick. So starting at my bottom lash line, I'm gonna make a line straight up and out. Like from my bottom lash line, I'm just gonna keep that line continuously going straight up, but just a nice straight line from your bottom lash line. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna connect the tip of this line to my lash line and fill it in, because you should have a pretty solid gap in the middle. Like that. But if you have small beady almond eyes, this might look alright on you. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the other eye now. Okay, so now my liner on both eyes is completed. I am pretty much satisfied with the way that it looks. Not everyone's eyes are shaped exactly the same, and not everyone's eyes are fit for liner, and mine are mediocre at best, I would say. So okay, so now I finished my liner on both eyes, and I'm sufficiently satisfied with the finished look here. It ain't perfect, but it ain't the worst thing I've ever done, that's for damn sure. So now I'm gonna apply Cover Curl mascara. It's the Flourish by Lash Blast. I have not mastered fake lashes yet. Quite frankly, I think the fact that I wear glasses it makes it look really wonky, because my glasses honestly cover up my eye looks more than I would appreciate. And then when I add lashes into the mix, it's just, you can't tell that I'm even wearing eyeshadow, really. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply my mascara to the top and bottom lashes. Tip when it comes to mascara: do your top lashes first, wait a couple seconds, make sure they're dry, and then go in and do your bottom lashes. Because if not, when you look up to get to your bottom lashes, you're gonna get lines all over the pretty eyeshadow that you just spent like 2 hours blending, and no one likes that. All right, and now my lashes are complete. Once again, I'm gonna get my Mario Rose Water Spray, and I use this as kind of a setting spray. It's really not what it's for, and it just makes my skin feel really, really beautiful. I spray it on my hair too, actually, because it smells so good. This is just a nice mist, and I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like it makes my skin glow and smell beautiful, and it just feels so healthy. If you feel like you got too much, take your beauty blender or beauty sponge, don't want to be copywritten, do we, Morphe? And just kind of pat ever so lightly, because you don't want to up your makeup. Girl, we just spent way too much time on that makeup, you don't want it up. So just gently do a little pat, 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 and it just melts so beautifully into the skin. And last but certainly not least is lips. So for lips today, I'm using the brand Estee Lauder, I hope you can see. Probably not though. And it's in the shade Burnt Raisin. Okay everyone, so this is my final look, and I just got smart and started facing towards the window, and now I have beautiful lighting. So next time we're absolutely gonna do that instead of filming the video the other way where you can hardly see. I'm learning, bear with me. I love color, I love makeup that really shows creativity and is different. I'm quoting James Charles here when I say that bronze smoky eye looks have been done a million times, and that's not what I'm into either. And I take a lot of inspiration from him and every star, and I want to bring more creative and colorful and fun looks to the world of makeup, because I think people are too scared and too shy to rock bold looks, and I think this is a fun look for beginners who are just delving into the world of colorful shadows and colorful eye makeup, and just learning how to rock it and be brave and leave the house and not feel like, oh, I have blue eyeshadow on. You can do it, you can rock it. If I can do it, you absolutely can do it too. Don't be scared of makeup, don't shy away from makeup. If it's something you enjoy, follow your passions. And don't be scared to rock anything, because sis, do you. This is my final product of my first video. I hope to create and stick with making more fun things and just enjoying myself. Even if you don't watch and even if you don't care, this is my face, and I had fun while doing it, so thanks for watching.